SpongeBob's world is full of legends who show up once, cause chaos, and then vanish forever. From sea bears to haunted fry cooks, these one-time icons made their mark and disappeared. In this video, we're breaking down every single one-time character in SpongeBob to see what happened to them, and if they ever came back. 1. Hash-Slinging Slasher plus Nosferatu. Graveyard Shift. Graveyard Shift at the Krusty Krab. The sign flips to Open All Night. The grill crackles. Squidward leans in with a campfire voice and tells a tale about a ghost fry cook who rings the phone, who leaves a bus without a driver, who shows up at 3 with a rusty spatula where his hand should be. SpongeBob drinks every word like it is a milkshake. He checks the clock. It creeps toward 3. A jellyfish drifts past the window like an eye that will not blink. The room makes sounds that do not help. The phone rings with no one on the line.
Hello?
Nice try, Squidward.
Headlights slide past the window with no driver in the seat. The lights blink and hold. Each detail from the story lands in real life, one by one, like a list you wish you had not heard. SpongeBob hides behind the boat. Squidward tries to stay cool, but even his clarinet would squeak. At exactly 3, a shadow steps into the doorway. A figure walks in slowly, hoodie up, spatula in place of a hand. Ketchup smears across his front like blood. The boys scream and crash into the register boat. The figure raises the spatula and asks the last question you expect. Is this the Krusty Krab? He is a teenage fry cook who came in at night for a job interview.
Spatula? I called earlier, but I hung up because I was nervous.
He brought ketchup for effect and thought it was funny. The lights keep flickering, so who is messing with the switch? We cut to a live-action frame of a long-faced vampire from a silent film, grinning as he taps a light switch like a prank. Nosferatu. It is a strange punchline, and it lands because it feels so out of place. One cold shot, one little smile, and the mystery clicks. The Hash-Slinging Slasher is only a story, and the spooky beats were stray events, lined up by fear. What happens next? The teen likely gets an interview and a ride home. The ghost story remains a legend that kids whisper at closing time. Nosferatu turns a 1-second cutaway into a favorite joke. He even pops up years later in small bits. Sea bear. Pitch a tent in the sand outside SpongeBob's house. Toast a marshmallow. Patrick explains the rules like a scout leader with a loose book. Do not wear a sombrero upside down. Do not eat cubed cheese. Do not stomp the ground. Squidward rolls his eyes and breaks every rule louder each time, just to show that nothing bad will happen.
You guys are so gullible. See?
Wind picks up the tent flap and snaps like a warning. The sea goes very quiet. A round shadow glides behind it. Then a sea bear slams down like a furry train and drags Squidward through the sand. The thing mauls him, leaves, and returns as soon as he mocks it again. SpongeBob draws a simple circle in the dirt and tells him to stand inside it. The creature cannot cross the line. It claws the edge, snorts, and wanders off to some other patch of night. That is it. No big speech. No hunt. A wild animal did what wild animals do and moved on. The sea bear we saw never came back, but the idea sticks. Fans trade the joke list like a safety poster that makes no sense. Clarinet squeal, sombrero flip, cheese cubes, a circle on the ground that somehow keeps you safe if you believe in it and do not step out. The gorilla, time for the weirdest guest of all. A man in a gorilla suit appears in the water, like that makes sense. He shuffles into frame while SpongeBob and Patrick try to get over a crash. They stare. He stares. Sandy asks the obvious question. Since when do gorillas live underwater? The gorilla ignores her and stuffs SpongeBob and Patrick into a sack like an old cartoon. Then, the scene breaks the world one more time. A live-action zebra trots in from off-screen. The gorilla throws the sack over his shoulder, hops up, and the two ride away across a fake studio sunset. It looks like someone changed the channel for 10 seconds and then changed it back. Nobody chases them. Nobody explains it. The cut is the joke. What happened to that gorilla after that? He rode out of the show and never came back. The scene lives on in clips because it feels like a prank pulled on the audience. It also sums up why this world can surprise you. 1 minute you are inside a tidy cartoon. The next minute, a furry suit and a zebra take the leads and vanish through a door that never opens again. Cuddle-y hugs. SpongeBob eats a rotten patty by mistake, and the colors around him get a little too sweet. A giant pink hamster in a top hat appears in his living room and calls himself Cuddle-y Hugs. He is soft, friendly, and only SpongeBob can see him. They skip through dream streets. They pass candy clouds. He gives the best hugs in the world, and he wants to keep hugging forever. Then little clues stack up. Every hug lasts a bit too long. Snacks appear that look like bait. Cuddle E talks about fattening up with a smile that does not match his eyes. SpongeBob's belly gets rounder and his steps get slower. The music loses its shine. He looks down at the rotting patty crumbs and understands what this is. It is not a friend. It is a trap that only exists as long as the bad food stays in his system. Sandy helps him shake the sickness. With the cure, the giant hamster fades like steam on glass. No big fight, no lasting scar. Just a hard lesson about eating fresh food and not trusting every bright smile that pops into your head after midnight. Fans remember him because he is cute and creepy in the same frame. A bedtime story that turns on you. From flickering lights and campfire stories, we step into halls where trouble wears a grin. Flats the flounder. Hi, I'm Flats. I'm gonna kick your butt. That is his hello at boating school. Flat voice, hard stare. Mrs. Puff takes attendance. SpongeBob gulps and tries to be nice. The bell rings and a chase begins. Classroom desks scrape. The bus door hisses. Flats follow at every stop, silent and steady like a storm cloud in shoes. SpongeBob tries every dodge he knows. He hides behind a fish food poster. He slips into the hall and whispers to Mrs. Puff. Patrick hears the plan wrong and makes it worse. The gym whistle squeals. Flats cracks his knuckles and starts throwing punches like a metronome. Thud, thud, thud. SpongeBob absorbs it all like a stress ball that never breaks. The joke is simple. Muscle meets sponge and loses to physics. Hours pass, flat tires. He is drenched and dizzy. SpongeBob is puffy but fine. In the final beat, Flat swings, wheezes, and drops. Paramedics wheel him past the lockers on a stretcher while everyone glares at SpongeBob as if he did it. He did not. He just stood there and let the flounder punch himself out. Flats does not speak again in the show. You may catch his model in a crowd, but the bully phase ends here. Fans quote the opening line and post the punch loop as proof that Squish beats tough every time. Tattletale Strangler. SpongeBob sees a litter bug drop a gum wrapper and waves a cop over with a smile. Sir, that man littered. The cuffs click. The prisoner turns and shows a face built for a warning poster. He leans close and whispers the promise that sets the plot. I am the Tattletale Strangler, and I am going to strangle you. He breaks out before dinner. He slaps on a fake mustache and a hat and calls himself a bodyguard.
My card.
Looks good to me. You're hired.
SpongeBob hires him to protect him from himself, which is the perfect trap. Then SpongeBob does what SpongeBob does best. He drags his new guard through the longest day in Bikini Bottom. Grocery store line, perfume department, a roller coaster that goes upside down 3 times. Mile after mile of errands and kindness that feels like torture to a man on a mission. The Strangler keeps trying to get SpongeBob alone. Every time he turns, another crowd appears. Neighbors, mail carriers, a choir. A full house party with everyone screaming surprise. He grits his teeth. He bends his arms into angles that do not look safe. His face does things that make you pause and rewind. The actor gives it bite. That voice belongs to the guy who once bullied Marty McFly, and you can hear it in the low growl and sudden yells.
Today, you've got everything you need now. Nobody's left. We're completely alone.
At last, night falls. The house empties. He locks the door and pulls off the mustache. He raises both hands. Then the rug pulls one more time. Police pour out from the couch, the lamp, the closet, and even under the bed. Patrick sits on top of the pile like a cherry. The Strangler's wrists vanish into handcuffs, and he is hauled away again, roaring. He heads back to jail with nothing but a story and a broken fake mustache. Later seasons slip him into a background gag for fans, but he does not get a new arc. The lesson plays without speeches. SpongeBob's kindness and chaos turn revenge into a nap and a fresh booking photo. Reg the Bouncer. There is a line outside the Salty Spittoon. The sign says it all. Tough fish only. Reg guards the door with crossed arms and a map of tattoos that look like old stories. He asks the same test for everyone with a voice like gravel. How tough are ya? A puffer swallows thumbtacks. A shark lifts a truck. SpongeBob steps up with a shaky grin. He tries to pass with small wins. Paper cuts, hot sauce, a fake fight with Patrick that looks like a theater camp. Reg does not buy it until SpongeBob pulls out the line that lives forever. I ate a bowl of nails for breakfast without any milk. Reg nods and waves him in. 2 steps later, SpongeBob slips on a tiny ice cube, wipes out, and breaks his illusion. Sirens. He is sent to Weenie Hut General while Reg goes back to the door in the next story. Reg never moves past the frame he owns. He is the gatekeeper. He is the quote. Fans loop his challenge and resurrect it whenever a new tough bar scene shows up in any show. Kevin C. Cucumber, Convention Day, banners flap for the Jelly Spotters. Kevin C. Cucumber steps out with a crown of club clout and a face that says he knows it. SpongeBob melts. He shouts, "I am your biggest fan."
You're too kind. Security!
Kevin smiles the way a cat smiles at a fishbowl and invites SpongeBob to take the tests. It starts with silly tasks that put SpongeBob in danger and keep Kevin safe. It turns fast. Every trial backfires. Nets snap at the wrong time. Traps flip. The jellyfish that should be on SpongeBob finds Kevin instead. He gets zapped over and over while trying to make the sponge look foolish. The crowd watches their hero lose cool and swell up. Kevin tries to salvage the show with a final stunt. A rigged queen jellyfish reveal that should make him king. Then the sea answers with something bigger than a rig. A giant jellyfish hovers over the scene like a purple cloud with a crown. Panic scatters the crowd. Kevin runs and gets caught in the mess he wrote. SpongeBob does not fight him. He does what he always does. He cares. He blows a bubble pie to draw the giant away, and the danger fades with some dignity left on the floor. Kevin does not stick around. He slips out of frame with a face full of stings and a lesson he will not post about. He never speaks again on screen. If you pause in later seasons, you might spot his model in a crowd shot for a wink. Fans moved him from idol to punchline in a day, and the show let that arc end right there. From bullies to bones. Time to open a grave and meet the man who was number 1, Smitty. A dusty yard sale turns into a gold rush. Mr. Krabs sells SpongeBob a soda hat for spare change, then learns it is worth a small fortune.
All I have is 5.
Well, I guess it's no deal.
SpongeBob hears the hat is cursed and buries it fast, right on a grave with a long name carved across the stone. Night falls. Fog rolls in. Krabs sneaks back with a shovel and pops the coffin lid. Skeleton fingers reach up. A bony fish in a captain's sash sits up like he never left. He was number 1. Smitty Verbenjäger Monjensen says it like a title. Around him, more skeletons creak from the dirt, an army of soda fans ready to defend their king's cap. Krabs bolts through headstones with the hat under his arm while skulls clack behind him. It is a chase scored by rattles and loose nails. Krabs fights like a crab would. He bonks Smitty back into the box with the coffin lid, drops the hat on the chest where it belongs, and slams the nails down with fast taps. The grave settles. The fog closes. The cap gleams once and disappears into the dirt. That is the end of Smitty on screen. He goes back to sleep with his treasure and stays there. What lives on is the line and that impossible name. Fans quote, "He was number 1 whenever a cheap trinket turns holy," and laugh every time they try to say Verbenjäger Monjensen in one breath. Let's trade bones for bridles. One wild pet who ate the whole kitchen. Mystery the Seahorse. SpongeBob finds a light green seahorse grazing near the road and reaches out a gentle hand. She nuzzles, then chomps a glove like it is lettuce. "I will name you Mystery," he says, proud and sure, and leads her home on a string of kelp. The house becomes a snack bar. Mystery nibbles the couch, the sink, the mail, and may or may not try to eat Old Man Jenkins as he wanders by. Frank Welker's animal voice sells every bite. At the Krusty Krab, she clips her hooves across the tile like a tiny parade horse. Guests cheer until she swallows decorations and money with the same bright eyes. Mr. Krabs counts his losses in real time and lays down a hard rule. Pets out. SpongeBob's smile drops. He walks Mystery to Jellyfish Fields and hugs her neck. She whinnies, turns, and gallops into the tall pink flowers like a green arrow. Then Krabs yelps. His cash drawer is empty, and his theory is simple.
Get that horse! Mystery!
The seahorse ate it. They sprint after her, but the field is too wide and the night is too soft. That is where the story leaves her. Mystery runs free. In later years, sharp eyes spot her in small crowd shots, sipping from a dish with other critters or peeking into a pet party. No lines, no arc, just a nod that she is still out there. Fans keep the name and the sound in their heads. "I'll Name You Mystery" sits on shirts and posts. And that clip of SpongeBob riding bareback through jellyfish fields plays like a music video in every memory. If we missed your favorite one-time character, drop their name and episode below. Thanks for sailing through Bikini Bottom's weirdest cameos with me. Like and subscribe if you want more deep dives that turn background gags into full stories next.